This is a work of fiction. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mac. Welcome to Of the Devil. This is something that's been around for a while. It has been on my go check out later reading, and since I've done Nina Akila Legal in the past, well, why not check this out? I know virtually nothing about it except people that like murder mysteries like this game. Unfortunately, I don't like let's playing games like this, but I don't mind a let's try. Rain sizzles off neon above me. The summer shower creates a noted uptick in the flickering of holograms down the street. The slight blunting of the night's ambience. Emphasis on slight. Lights, cameras, constant noise. The city's got insomnia with an uneven heart rate to prove it. There's no escaping the second-hand nervous energy bottom of it all, but I'm pretty acclimated. Just a wave of worries cresting on the surface while I hold my breath deep below. Besides, a microdose of nightlife anxiety suits my mood just fine. Because if I'm not careful, this client of mine's gonna die in jail. Morgan, criminal attorney. It's hard to get away with murder these days. People are still presumed innocent, at least on paper. But by the time they're in cuffs, there's hardly any shadows of doubt left. Because this world's lit up, mapped out, never unknown, always online. Whether it's incandescent or neon or hollow, whether it's LCD, LED, or just the nearest phone screen, there's light shining on every pixel of the map. For something that has holograms, it sounds oddly realistic to our current state of life. Everyone is online. Someone's always watching. Solitude's a rarity, anonymity is scarce. And criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. So you take whatever clients you can get, you don't balk at the public defender work no matter the hour. And should you find yourself in one of the last dark, quiet corners left in the world, well, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Not that there's much else I can do until my phone. Counselor, your public defender contract has been approved. You are expected at the 254th precinct. Present your ID at the door to enter. You have 254 precincts? Arrive at least 15 minutes early. I'll try. Heart. Looks like the paperwork came through. It's nearly 3:15 now. 19 minutes since I took the job. Probably makes it about 2 hours since they finally got smart enough to ask for a lawyer. If they're really smart, they'll have used that time to get some rest. Because now that I'm here, things are going to get busy. Of the Devil, Episode 0. And he shall appear. Disable tutorial. You can turn them back on in the settings. Honestly, I'm fine with getting tutorials. Sometimes they can be fun and sometimes they can be necessary. But yeah, it's a proverb. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Suspect hashtag not found. Precinct 254. It's a goddamn ghost town. It's a waste of money. We don't need 254 precincts. With nothing but a hologram for a welcoming party. I'm here about a homicide. High clearance rates be damned. You'd think they'd treat it with a little more gravitas. But whatever, if I'm that unimportant, they've got no right to complain if I'm taking my sweet time getting checked in. I should take my time. Information's like cash in my line of work. You gotta spend it to make it. And if you're flat broke, no one will give a shit what you have to say. So let's see if we can't poke around and shake some change loose. Press the phone button or tap the phone icon in the top left to access the pause menu, where you can save, load, or check settings. You can toggle auto-advancing text with the auto button, or check previous lines with the backlog button. Look around for points of interest you can check to investigate the area. You'll earn credit for investigating anything and everything you can. Credit is both a measure of your information gathering and your own credibility. So don't go broke! Oh man, this feels... The idea might be Ace Attorney, but it feels very Danganronpa with how you can just poke around. A data pad, I'll bite. Even when they've gotta spend it to make it, earn your first credit. Even when there are more advertisements than articles, they can still be informative. In a flowery, roundabout, corporate propaganda sort of way. Keep an eye out for articles in the environment. They offer insight on the world around you and credit towards your investigation. Articles are added to your phone's reading list after you've first read them. Choose the proper takeaway after reading them and you'll earn additional bonus credit too. It just struck me that I forgot to do the audio syncing at the start of this. Oh dear. You wouldn't think I'd been doing this for nearly 10 years. Subway fixes axed city to refocus on canopy. Declaring the subway tunnels to be irreparably flooded, city engineers announced this week that all plans to drain and repair the system were being suspended indefinitely. Saltwater damage to sensitive electronic cabling and erosion of key tunnel fixtures were cited as reason for why 89% of the subway system was evaluated as critically compromised or worse. Civil engineering efforts will be refocused on maintenance and expansion of the hybrid super infrastructure instead, that weaves together trams, highways, walkways, and skyscrapers into the canopy, high above our city streets. Reactions to the announcement could be characterized as blaze. It's been years since the subway last ran and decades since they last ran on schedule. Most citizens had long given up on them ever making a comeback. Online chatter barely reacted to the announcement, with most comments and voters' attention focused instead on the growing investigations into the Councilman Longman's campaign finance irregularities. As one of the Canopy's major backers in City Hall, Long has often found himself at odds with a small but vocal group of critics that consider it to be an eyesore and an amplifier of light and noise pollution. With Long having stepped away from his political duties in order to more fully cooperate with the investigators for the first time in nearly 20 years, with the typically rock-steady political foundation of the Canopy was looking uncharacteristically shaky going into this week. But with the subways now officially no longer an option, people and corporations alike have little choice for how they complete their morning commute. However, not all reactions to the news have been negative. At least a few bold individuals see this latest report as vindication, and possibly even a rallying cry. Already considered by many to be a rising star in infrastructure solutions abroad, tech startup Subterra made headlines last year with a radical proposal for a system of personal submarine taxi pods that could make use of the flooded subway tunnels, but momentum stalled when their first prototype for the city came in at a disappointing 3,359% over budget. Though one council member was quoted as calling their system mind-bogglingly wasteful and impractical in the extreme in light of this latest announcement, Subterra proudly declared their intent to resubmit their proposal package. Across the entire globe, coastal cities like ours have struggled to find civil engineering answers to rising sea levels and subterranean flooding that satisfy financial, practical, and aesthetical concerns. Historically, most scientists have attributed this increase in sea level to climate change, though there are dissenting voices. Water rises and falls all the time for reasons we do not fully understand. Are we too? It appears you have 0 free articles remaining this month. Please verify your account information in order to continue reading the stories in that matter. Well, that's just rude. Ballsy of them putting the paywall there. As if I had to reach for my wallet after having read a word like aesthetical. Besides, I got the gist of it. The takeaway is that the city will be focusing its efforts on the canopy. There'll be an increase. Choose the proper takeaway after reading an article. There'll be increased scrutiny surrounding the canopy now there's no plan B. It's a massive project with a massive budget. Lines the pockets of a lot of people, big and small. None of them would appreciate bad press at the moment. Not when Councilman Long's already thoroughly chummed the waters. High traffic hallways, utilitarian furnishing, multiple screening stations. Pragmatic brutalism so textbook it could teach the freshman level architecture. Can almost hear the building drone on and on about concrete and iron and hard right angles. The civil planning equivalents of battle scars. From a fight won so long ago, they're starting to look ridiculous. I'm sure it was all very imposing back when it was built. But walking in here now with crime rates where they are, feels like a hospice for heavy-handedness. Hospice ward. Oh. An actual police lineup. It's like I walked into a museum. Though museums tend to feel expensive. And clean. Dusty, forgotten, probably lots of unpacked boxes. This homicide department's more like an attic. Hard to believe they were ever so busy that they had witnesses making IDs in the lobby. Then again, it's hard to believe they were ever doing lineups in the first place. Are you certain? Wasn't it dark? Did you know that during traumatic events, flashback formation is blah blah blah? Poking holes in that setup must have been like shooting fish in a barrel. And all during billable hours. But there's no room to sow doubt anymore. Not when a modern witness can submit their testimony as a video recording. Assuming their phone didn't automatically file a police report for them. Man, it makes Ace Attorney's rushed 3-day trial system look like practically a cakewalk in comparison. This is a dystopia. The medium's cracked in the corner. Looks bad, but my phone's made of the same stuff, and I'm rolling the dice every time it falls off the sofa. Could probably know the warranty on one of these things with a loud sneeze. At least it's not broken. Entirely. Even at this hour, it's still dutifully scrolling through the notifications. Looks like the usual 1-1 ratio of public health alerts and inoffensive pop culture trivia you always get served at state buildings. Please use our universal contact number at string not found. Yeah, they don't want to dox anyone's real numbers. But there's a few missing persons too. 1 year of silver plan coverage courtesy of Caduceus as a reward for any... Silver's no joke. Family must be getting desperate. Alright. I've taken in all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Time to get checked in. It booted up fine. So far so good. Good morning! Morgan, here for public defender contract. Could you please provide your name and... Great, please stand still for a moment. I wouldn't call Intake Hollows charming, more like harmless. But that's probably what the designers were aiming for. People don't mind a quirk or two in their tech, so long as it never speaks out of turn. And suddenly we're in the city. A machine must behave as a machine. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble placing you. Could you please provide your name and date of birth? So far so good, was it? Say, why don't you just scan my ID card? Great! Now could you just confirm your date of birth for me? Why do they even bother asking? My birthday's on the damn ID card and my profile. I have to be a world-class airhead to get this wrong. Article profile evident. December 26th. Oh boy, okay. December 26, 175 centimeters, does not list weight, blood type AB-, occupation, criminal defense attorney, likes puzzles, smoking, wooden furniture, dislikes, commercials, hairdressers, jogging, talent, can fall asleep in any position, coffee, decaf, drink whiskey sour. Okay, December 26. We also have money. No problem, my birthday's very close to my own, only 6 days after. December 26. Perfect! Good morning, Morgan Counselor. Thank you for your timely arrival and for taking on this public defender contract. If you're ready to speak with your client, you can proceed to Counseling Quarter 3C. Is that what we're calling it now? You mean the interrogation room? I'm sorry to have caused any confusion. My vocabulary is regularly updated to better reflect state standards. Don't sweat it. I can't keep track of every new euphemism either. They could call it involuntary wellness check room if they like. Doesn't change the way it makes a person feel sitting in a stifled box of one-way panels. Nothing to see but their own reflection dully warped across gunmetal walls. Morgan Counselor, can I help you with anything else? Choices that progress the story forward will cause other options to shrink away when selected. Choices that take the conversation down side paths and before returning to this point will not. Because of the article you've read earlier, you unlocked an additional choice in this dialogue. Read and examine at every opportunity to build up your knowledge and get the most out of every conversation. King of Hearts card. Cute. That causes them to shrink, that does not. What are you? I'm a smart user interface, proudly sold by Noble Electronics. Thank you for asking! If you're interested, I can send you a link with information about our subscription packages. Should I send you a link with information about our subscription packages? No. Sorry. That was a mean question to ask. Why the disrepair? I know the city is not terribly concerned with the lower wards, but this is a police station. Why is it so goddamn dusty? This facility is currently undergoing renovations. Since when? The 60s? It has been 22 months since the timetable was last updated. They really don't see a lot of action around here, do they? I'm sorry for any inconvenience you may have encountered. I'm adaptable. What about you? They're ever gonna fix that crack? Thank you for asking. It has not interfered with my work. Well, that's all that matters, right? That'll be all, thank you. You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office. Through the door to your right. Thanks. But I think it's just me for now, so you could go on break if you like. Automatic dependents do not take breaks, Morgan Counselor. Then what were you doing before I walked in? Existential crisis. You'll find the counseling quarters past the homicide detective's office. Through the door to the right, thank you. Ads don't get breaks, and they don't get jokes. Ah, interesting. So we can look up stuff on we can look up stuff that if we want to. Okay, holograms. Noun. A 3D image formed by light. Enabled by specialized projectors or mediums like conductive resin, holograms are graphic displays that appear three-dimensional to the human eye when viewed from any part of a face range of at least 180 degrees. An effect known as the Watterson illusion phenomenon, originally patented in the late 2059. Watterson's phenomenon initially used exclusively in the adult entertainment industry. Oh, Holograms did not become widely adopted as an advertising tool until the much-aligned holiday season of 2061, after which laws restricting the presence of holograms in public spaces were passed with uncharacteristically universal support. We're sorry to see you've installed a subroutine on this device to disable and highlight our recommended premium external links. We understand your drive for personalization, but unauthorized tech impacts our ability to serve you the best and most relevant information possible. Consider disabling your subroutine so we can serve you a more tailored browsing experience. Is this going to be on every damn term? No, it's just on that one because that's the one where they try to hammer us with advertisements. Datapads. The lightweight, portable electronic device known as datapads have no significant internal storage capabilities and can only display what is streamed to them from local networks. Originally marketed as a replacement for ecologically wasteful newspapers, magazines, and flyers, datapads quickly became infamous for difficulty and expense involved in recycling them once their limited lifetime components expired. It wasn't until they were rebranded as ideal for privacy and security that datapads found success in private and public sectors, where their ability to display location-locked content helped corporations minimize data leaks and give their advertisements targeted geographic relevance. But they wouldn't be ideal for privacy and security because you're just filching the information from elsewhere. Today, datapads are a mainstay of high-traffic public spaces and virtual physical hybrid workplaces, despite remaining unpopular with most environmentalists and bibliophiles. Though it outwardly resembles plastic or glass, conductive resin is actually an electromagnetic polymer used in a wide variety of stationary or portable devices where its unique properties allow it to act both as a display and a processor, enabling ultra-thin or even transparent electronics. There are upwards of 100 different patented varieties of conductive resin, each intended for different use cases, industries, and environments. But they're all fairly lightweight and fragile except for the small handful formulated for military and security applications. Then it wouldn't be for multiple environments because they're all lightweight and fragile. Because of its widespread use in a high turnover products such as datapads and smartphones, producers of conductive resin are frequently accused of engineered obsolescence by consumer rights groups, though these claims have never been proven before in a court. High turnover rate. Screen cracked, schedule a fix here. I already have the evidence, it's right here in this article. Automated dependent. Abbreviated as AD and referred to in common conversation as AD or ADS. Automated dependent is a catch-all term encompassing robotics, intelligent programs, interactive holograms, and androids. ADS are present both digitally and physically in every industry and nation on the planet, assisting in everything from data management to physical labor. In the mid-21st century, lobbyists pushed through new tax classifications to find intelligent machines that were neither salaried employees nor mere equipment, because it afforded tax breaks and lighter tariffs. Oh, right, that would be why, wouldn't it? The term became so commonly used that it spread to all branches of the robotic industry, from which point it began to penetrate into everyday speech in pop culture. Some sociologists argue that the term owes its popularity not simply to its brevity and prevalence, but to its ability to draw a distinction between the commonplace, robotics, androids, smart UIs, etc., and the internationally illegal artificial intelligences. We can hope. Searching for this term may incur an account flag. Read more about how we cooperate with the authorities to combat disinformation here. No, I don't think so. Ads don't get breaks, and they don't get my jokes. But it's usually the humorless types that are the most fun to mess with anyway. eyes gone bad or something? A voice. No, voices coming from down the hall. Compared to yours, probably. Thank God I stopped for directions. The building this empty. Yes, could have just told me to follow the echoes. One voice sounds older, rougher, and decidedly low energy. Appreciate you ring about me. God forbid I try to be serious. While the other rings with youthful indignation. It's not like our job is important or anything. Definitely cops. And at this precinct, at this hour, they might be the only two living, breathing people in the whole complex. Otherwise, why else would we bother to print all that out? One document or 100 looks the same on a datapad. Anytime you question a suspect, you need to have a heavy file in hand. Makes you think you know them better than their priest, their mother, their big brother. I wasn't gonna say that. So how many of those sheets were blank then? No red carpet tonight, officers? Good cop. Oh, sorry about that, ma'am. You don't keep many extra hands at these hours. Probably fast to let the desk handle intake anyway. But mostly cheaper. Oh dear, I got the voices round the wrong way. I'm gonna stick with it. You the lawyer? I am. Morgan, Esquire, pleased to meet you. Same here, counsellor. 'Twas in London. And the ball of sunshine here is my partner, Farah Reyes. Ball of sunshine? It didn't take long for me to swap. She certainly is. Huh? Sorry if you were kept waiting. Chatter between the departments has been hectic all night. I've already forgotten who's who. These backgrounds don't help. It's no trouble. Gave me time to enjoy my cigarette. Cigarette like tobacco? What are you, 80? She can't be more than a few years younger than me. We're the detectives in charge of this particular case. And it looks like tonight we're also your humble guides to the illustrious homicide department. Apologies in advance for any cobwebs. Pretty sure I've seen this London character around the courthouse before. He never struck me as more than just some old-timer. I suppose being an old-timer is an accomplishment in and of itself in his profession. Sunshine is definitely a new face though. Rigid in her posture and her attitude. 3 in the morning and her shirt still looks ironed. Freshly promoted, maybe. They definitely do have a way with the writing in this game. If we just look at them. 2 whole detectives working at these hours. It's commentary like this that definitely adds more flair to the descriptions. 2 whole detectives working at these hours. Sounds serious. Unless you were just the first to arrive on the scene. No, we're not nearly that timely. Uniforms responded to emergency calls within a few minutes. Calls, plural. Must have been quite the commotion. Look around, you think we're the first to arrive for anything? She's not wrong. We're only tapped after circumstances at the crime scene indicated involving like an ongoing investigation. Ongoing investigation. Not very subtle, is she? But I may as well bite at this point. So you suspect that this client of mine is involved with some separate criminal activity? Wait, did they really not? No, I guess they wouldn't put it in a public defender's briefing. Look, consider this a professional courtesy, a fair warning, yeah? That's the heartbreak killer in that room. We've got this bastard dead to rights. So if you're kind, you'll help him plead it out. And if you're smart, you'll pass this shitstorm on to some other night owl and go back to bed. I'm not feeling particularly kind or smart at the moment. I need to make today's rent. So, yeah, with that plot hook there, I guess this is a place to end it. I don't know how long my first episode went for before I accidentally crashed the game. Well, I didn't crash it, I minimized it, but that cancelled the recording, so I had to restart. So yeah, it's interesting, but I don't think I want to let's play it because I'm not good at let's playing mystery visual novels. I like mystery visual novels, I just don't like let's playing them. Until next time, guys, take care, I'll see you all around. No music, huh? Farah Reyes. Date of birth, October 19th. Height, 162 centimeters. Weight, 63 kilograms. Blood, A-. Homicide detective, 3rd class. Likes rice, slimes, automotive history. Dislikes liars, small plates, cheap people. Enjoys watching product reviews. Bad at games of chance. Right eye, OS Iris Elite 86. Quasm London. Date of birth, May 5th. Height, 186 centimeters. Weight, 78 kilos. Blood type, B+. Occupation, homicide detective, 1st class. Likes photography, dive bars, and bangs. Dislikes ties, pollen, after hours work messages. Listens to podcasts, hobby, pencil sketching. Frequently running late.